How long is a rectangular strip of land with a width of 5/4 kilometers and an area of 3/4 square kilometers? Using solve, what are they really asking? Well, first, they want to know what is the length of the rectangle. When it's asking me how long, that's what they really want to know. What is the length? And I figured it out because we already know the width. So I need that extra dimension. Facts in this one sentence problem, we know the area, we know the width, and it's not exactly here, but again, it would always be in our reference sheet. We know that the area of any rectangle is length times width. So here's my plan. This is how you're going to see me break it down in 4 steps. First, I'm going to substitute our known values into that area formula. Then I'm going to rewrite the equation into a division problem. That way, I can simplify the expression to solve for the unknown dimensions. And then I can actually just check my work by substituting whatever answer I get into the original equation. That way I know for sure I have an accurate length. Hit pause so you can jot this down into your notes. Everything's here from our plan, so let's jump in with number 1, substitute. Our area is 3/4. And if I put an L for length, it might look like a number 1. So I'm going to use N for some number. So a number times our width, which is also known 3/4. Our second step, we want to rewrite this as a division problem. So 3/4 divided by 5/4 is going to give us that number. We know how to divide fractions. We're going to multiply 3/4 by the reciprocal, 4/5. And we get 12 over 20. You can always go back to another video lesson if you don't remember how to divide with fractions. Now, I want to simplify this fraction by its common factor, which in this case is 4. That's our greatest common factor. And I get 3/5. So that is my length, 3/5 what? Kilometers. Before I write it down in my bottom step, I want to just make sure I can check my results. And that means I'm going to go back to my original area equals length times width. And I'm going to see if both expressions, both sides are equal to each other. If the product of length and width will be equal to the area, then I know I'm right. So I'm going to put the 3/4 down for area. And our length is 3/5. Our width is 5/4. And when you multiply 3/5 by 5/4, 3 times 5 is 15, 5 times 4 is 20. So just looking at it, they don't look the same because I need to simplify this final answer. So I'm putting my little S there. A 5 and a 0. So I could divide both of these by 5 because anything ending in 5 or 0, I can divide or simplify by 5. And I get 15 divided by 5 is 3. And 20 divided by 5 is 4. So both sides of my expression are equivalent. I did have the correct length. So let's write this down in a full sentence. The length of the rectangle, I can speak faster than I write, is 3/5 kilometers. There is my final answer. So I'm going to hit pause so you can jot this down into your notes. And let's jump into our second problem. And this one is actually multiple choice. So we're going to use raise. And let's start that first step by reading the question. John's triangular sail has an area of 25 square feet. The sail's height is 10 feet. What is the length of the base of the triangle? And my visuals actually help this right here. The area of the sail is written here, 25. We have a height. We just don't know what this base is. So what kind of question is this? Because it's talking about area, my first guess would usually say, well, it's a geometry problem. It has to do with area and triangles. But because I know that I'm finding an extra dimension, I'm going to have to use a lot of number sense to do this. I'm going to have to do some work with numbers in order to find the answer. Let's look at our key facts. we know what the area is, 25 square feet. And we know what the height is, 10 feet. We just don't know what the base is. And if you have a reference sheet, we also know that the area of a triangle will be important for this. So I'm going to write the area, and there are two formulas that usually get seen. So for area of a triangle, I have seen 1/2 base height as one formula you can use in 6th grade. I've also seen base times height divided by 2. And these are both equivalent. They're both absolutely equivalent. If you're not sure why, think about it. It's 1/2 times base over 1 and the height over 1, which would look the same thing as base height divided by 2. So you can see it in both forms. They're both equivalent. All right, so what is my strategy going to be? It's going to be very similar to what I did in the rectangle. We're going to substitute what we know. So here's our strategy. 1, we're going to substitute dimensions and values into the area formula. And then 2, we're going to rewrite it. We're going to rewrite that equation as a division problem. That is how we're going to solve this. All right, so let's start off just thinking about the numbers we have here. 10 times something divided by 2 gives us 25. Just thinking logically, let's just eliminate some distractors here. 10 times 35 is already 350. And I know for a fact that half of 350 is not going to be 25. So I'm going to say this is way too big. Too big a number. All right, let's try also 15. And the same logic, if I did 10 times 15, I'd have 150. If I did half of 150, that's not going to equal 25. So these two, I'm eliminating these two. They're way too big. And that's going to leave us with 2 5/10 feet or 5 feet. All right, so let's try this out. Let's actually do our process. We've already eliminated. We're down to 2 answers, possible answers, 50-50 chance. So area is equal to 1/2 base times height. We know what the height is, 10, so we don't know what the base. Base times 10. But we do know the area is 25. Okay. So I'm going to rewrite this for a second. 1/2 times 10 times the base. I know what 1/2 times 10 can equal to. I'm going to put a little 1 there. That means 25 is equal to 10 over 2 times the base. We can simplify that a little more. 10 over 2 is the same as 5. So let's think about this for a minute. 25 is equal to 5 times some number. This we can figure out. You should all be screaming it top of your head. If you're not sure, you can rewrite it as a division problem. And if we rewrite it as a division problem, it would be, what is 25 divided by 5 will give us B. And that, my friends, is the number we should be screaming out. We know what this is equal to. 25 divided by 5 will give us 5. That is our answer for today. So I'm going to hit pause so you can jot this all down into your notes. We had some great thinking. We really showed what we can do. Jot this down, and then we'll get right into our practice.